What separates conditions from fara'id? Fara'id are the obligatory actions of salah, essentials of salah. These are the fara'id, the integrals of salah, the parts without which you cannot have a valid prayer. That's fara'id salah, or the obligatory actions of salah. However, the conditions of salah, which we are speaking about now, the shurut of salah, are things which you have to meet before starting your prayer. There are certain things which you have to get them, establish them, find them, make them before you establish your prayer, before you make your prayer. So what are there? Are 8 things which you have to make before starting your prayer. The first thing is Islam. A person should be a Muslim. A non-Muslim, can a non-Muslim pray? He can pray to get the experience. But is it obligatory for him to pray? It's not an obligatory part for him. It's obligatory upon the Muslims to pray. It's binding on them to pray. But a non-Muslim, just to learn or to have the experience of prayer, he may not. Being sane means a person should be sane, wise. If a person loses his intelligence or intellect, or suffers an ailment in his brain, which causes him to be insane, in that case salah will not bind on him. To be sane is a condition, and there is a principle in Islamic fiqh which says that al-aqlu manat al-taklif, that the reason for a person being accountable in front of Allah is the existence of brain, existence of mind. Since the intellect is existing, then things bind upon him. If the intellect is not existing, nothing will bind upon him. This is the second condition. The third condition is to be mumayyiz. Mumayyiz means, now this is a debated condition. Should a person be mumayyiz or should he be mature? 2 opinions are there. Mumayyiz means someone who reached 7 years. And mature means someone who is mature. Someone who is big enough to understand things is called as mature. So, 2 opinions are there in this regard, bulugh and tamyiz. Bulugh, to be mature, to be adult. Tamyiz is to reach the age of 7. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal says that if a child reaches the age of 7, salah binds upon him. He should pray. He's not allowed to skip prayer. But the majority of the scholars, they say that if a person reaches the age of puberty, then salah binds upon him. And what about this 7 years child? And in the 7 years he should start praying as a practice. He should start practicing, so that by the time he is mature, he is used to salah and he knows how to pray. It's not that when he becomes mature that he starts learning how to pray. He should start learning it even before. Another condition for prayer to be valid and accepted is the commencement of time. If a person offers salah before time, his salah is rejected. It's not accepted because he's missing a condition. Allah says in the Quran, "As-salata kanat 'ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta," that indeed prayer is required from the believers in appointed times. So Allah appointed time for the believers to pray in them. He have to meet the prayers in those timings. So before beginning of time of your prayer, you cannot actually pray, nor you can make adhan. If somebody makes adhan for Fajr before the timing of Fajr, you have to repeat his adhan. And if you offer salah before the timing of Fajr, you have to repeat his prayer. So you have to make sure that the time started. The fifth condition in this regard is purification. When I speak about purification of clothes, purification of the place in which you are offering salah, and purification of your body. The physical purification is also required. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَاهِرْ, and your clothes, you have to purify them. Another verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah or Surah Al-Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قُمْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ فَاغْسِلُوا. And O believers, if you intend to prayer, then you have to wash. Means wash your face, your hands, your leg, and wipe your hand and make your wudu. So making wudu or purifying yourself is also considered one of the conditions. In fact, many scholars, many fuqaha, many Islamic jurists believe that to pray without purification is a major sin, which may cause a person to lose his faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just like mocking at religion. So one should not pray without proper purification. Another thing, or another condition, the sixth condition is to covering of the nakedness of a person, covering of the awrah. To cover your body is one of the conditions. For men, from the navel to the knee is required to be covered. For women, the entire body except for arms and face, they can uncover. Imam Abu Hanifa also allows women to uncover their feet. They say Imam Abu Hanifa is a bit lenient in this matter. So we have the seventh condition is facing the Qibla. Facing the Qibla is a binding condition which is required from everybody here, especially those who are in the cities. Those who are outside the cities, let's say in the desert or in a remote place where nobody can guide him, he's not having the services to find which is the direction of the Qibla, such people might be excused. But those who are in the cities, they have to find. If you don't know, they have to ask people and find because they are in the city. Or they should see the mosques and find out. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ, means let your face be towards Masjid al-Haram, towards Mecca, if you want to make your prayer. The eighth condition is intention. Intention should be made by a person before starting his prayer. Intention is a condition as well as a fard in the salah. It has both the aspects. So intention is important. The Prophet peace be upon him says, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ, that indeed your deeds are based on your intentions. So your intention should work. Intention is one of the functions of your heart. If you cannot have an intention, that means your heart is not functioning. So when you come to prayer, physically submitting yourself to Allah and spiritually submitting yourself to Allah. And that's the importance of intention. It causes you to submit yourself to Allah fully, physically and spiritually. So we are done with the conditions of Salah.